So at some point in our life we may be called to something more. We may find a practice that we love, something which develops us, which makes us grow. For me, the first one really was Aikido, martial art. And then what we find over time is that that practice may not encompass everything. It may not develop all the aspects of ourself. So, for example, we may take up meditation. We may develop an artistic or aesthetic practice. Or take up weight training. Because these things, they cover different bases. They develop different parts of ourselves. We may eventually make our life the practice. Business, family, whatever it is. Perhaps music or the aesthetic world. Perhaps nature. And at some point we ask ourselves, how does all this fit together? I've only got so many hours in a day and these things seem to be doing different things, but they're not exactly the same, so what's the structure that fits them together? At that point we need what's called an integral life practice. And this is my extremely geeky map of my own integral life practice. So for me, I need to be very clear why I'm doing it. So there's an I, a we, and an it in why I do my work. There's different areas that need covering. So we have a contemplative or meditative area, creativity, wisdom, more of a cognitive area, mind. Service and contribution, shadow, a therapeutic area, relational and embodied. Now what's important is two things here: to have a range, so to have some sense that you're covering the different bases, and also depth. So if we look at the embodied line, for me that's my work, so that's when I'm really striving for excellence in that particular kind of development, while still getting some range across other things. Now these practices can be micro practices. Let's say the 3-2-1 shadow process here is a therapeutic process that you can do in 10 minutes. It might be a little bit of meditation at the beginning of the day. It might be doing weights. Again, you could do a micro practice of weights of maybe 20-30 minutes a week and still get some benefit from it. Or it may be something like Aikido, which takes longer. For me, in my embodied practices, there's 5 rhythms: Feldenkrais dancing, swimming, having saunas, doing yoga. In relational practices, it might be tango, it might be playing with a child, it might be how you do Facebook even. You could do that as a practice. Other kinds of practice, so for me teaching is a service practice. Listening to Dharma talks on Buddhism is part of my wisdom practice. Watching this could be part of yours. Creativity, that could be doing art therapy, but it could just be writing a new blog or cooking a new kind of meal. And contemplative, for me, that's often meditation, but there's a nature connection in there too. The other important thing to consider is Sangha, so community. So if we take under meditation, these are some of the people who are involved in community. My friends Tavaja and Andy and David, who I had dinner with last night. This is some of the people that support one's practice. Now the important thing is it's not necessarily to do a lot of things, but to, as I said, have some range and also have some depth in what area you're specialising in. Make things that are fun, things that really fit with your life, so things that perhaps are scalable. You could do it as a small amount or a large amount depending on how much time you had. Things that are enjoyable and that fit well together for you. So this is just a way of me sort of keeping a track slightly of it. It's pretty geeky, but it works for me. And yeah, I hope this video of showing how the different things we can do fit together has been useful for you.